In the bustling city of Lagos, Nigeria, there was a young couple named Teo and Funmi. They had been high school sweethearts and later attended the same university, where their love grew even stronger. After graduation, they got married and soon became successful in their respective careers. Their marriage was blessed with two beautiful twins, a boy named Deli and a girl named Dara, who were 10 years old and full of life and joy. Teo worked for a multinational company, while Funmi ran a successful fashion business. They lived in a comfortable home in Ikeja and enjoyed a happy and fulfilling life. The twins were the apple of their eyes, and the family spent weekends exploring the vibrant city of Lagos, visiting parks, and enjoying delicious meals together. One day, Teo came home with exciting news. He had been offered a transfer to the company's branch in the USA. It was a great opportunity for him, and he was excited about the prospect of new experiences and growth. The family celebrated the news, and though they were sad to leave their beloved Lagos, they were looking forward to the adventure ahead. For the first few years, Teo communicated regularly with Funmi and the twins, keeping in touch through video calls and visits whenever possible. He missed his family deeply and began making plans for their relocation to the USA. The process was long, but finally, they received the paperwork from the American embassy. Part of the requirements included a DNA test for the twins to confirm their relationship with Teo. Funmi and the twins went to the clinic to provide their samples. They were all excited about the upcoming move and couldn't wait to reunite with Teo. A few weeks later, the DNA results arrived. Funmi opened the envelope with trembling hands, eager to complete the final step of their relocation process. As she read the results, her heart sank. The test revealed that Teo was not the biological father of the twins. Funmi's mind raced back to a dark period in their relationship. A few years ago, during a heated disagreement, she and Teo had separated for 2 weeks. During that time, she had a one-night stand with her ex-boyfriend, Kunal. She had buried the memory deep within, hoping it would never surface. Teo received the results and was devastated. He called Funmi, demanding an explanation. With a heavy heart, Funmi confessed the truth. She told him about the brief affair with Kunal and how she had hoped it would never come to light. Teo was heartbroken and felt betrayed. He couldn't believe that the twins he had loved and cared for were not his biological children. The news spread quickly among their families. Both sides tried to intervene, hoping to find a resolution that would keep the family together. Funmi's parents pleaded with Teo to forgive and move past the incident, reminding him of the love he had for the twins. Teo's parents were equally distraught, urging their son to consider the years he had spent raising Deli and Dara. Despite their efforts, Teo couldn't shake the feeling of betrayal. He felt that his trust had been shattered and that he couldn't continue to father children who were not his own. The situation grew increasingly tense, and the once happy family began to drift apart. The twins sensed the tension and became quiet and withdrawn, confused by the sudden change in their parents' relationship. The conflict reached its peak when Teo decided that he could no longer stay in the marriage. He informed Funmi that he wanted a divorce and would be returning to the USA alone. Funmi was devastated, but she knew that she had made a terrible mistake that had cost her dearly. The family went their separate ways. Teo moved to the USA, throwing himself into his work to escape the pain of his broken family. Funmi stayed in Lagos, dedicating herself to raising Deli and Dara. She focused on her fashion business, but the joy that once filled their home was replaced with a lingering sadness. Over time, Funmi and the twins adapted to their new reality. Deli and Dara continued their education and found solace in their friends and activities. Funmi's parents helped her navigate the challenges of single parenthood, and she found strength in their support. Teo, on the other hand, struggled to find peace. He missed the twins and thought about them often. He stayed in touch with his parents, who kept him updated on Deli and Dara's progress. Despite his initial decision, Teo couldn't completely let go of the bond he had with the twins. He sent them letters and gifts, trying to maintain some connection. Years passed, and Deli and Dara grew into young adults. They excelled in school and developed their own interests and talents. Funmi's fashion business flourished, and she became a well-known designer in Lagos. She often thought about Teo and the life they had built together, but she focused on the future and the happiness of her children. One day, out of the blue, Teo reached out to Funmi. He wanted to visit Lagos and see the twins. Funmi was surprised but agreed. When Teo arrived, he was greeted by the sight of Deli and Dara, now teenagers, full of promise and potential. The reunion was emotional, filled with tears and hugs. Teo apologized to the twins for his absence and tried to explain the complex situation in a way they could understand. Funmi stood a little distance away, watching the reunion. She felt a mix of relief and anxiety. This was a step towards healing, but she knew it would not be easy. Teo approached her, and they shared an awkward, yet heartfelt, hug. It was a small gesture, but it held a promise of better days. Back at Funmi's house, they sat together, sharing stories and laughter. The twins showed Teo their school projects, and Teo told them about his life in the USA. It was a moment of bonding, but beneath the surface, there were unspoken tensions and unresolved feelings. As days passed, Teo tried to make up for lost time. He took Deli and Dara to the beach, where they built sandcastles and played in the waves. They visited amusement parks, enjoyed local delicacies, and Teo even helped them with their homework. Slowly, the bond between father and children grew stronger. However, the tension between Teo and Funmi lingered. One evening, after the twins had gone to bed, Teo and Funmi sat on the porch, the warm Lagos breeze rustling the leaves. Teo, I know it's not easy, but we need to talk about us, Funmi began. Teo sighed, looking out into the distance. Funmi, I came back for the kids. They need both of us. But I still struggle with what happened. I understand, Teo. I made a mistake, and I've regretted it every day. But we have to find a way to move forward, for Deli and Dara's sake, Funmi said, her voice trembling. Teo nodded slowly. You're right. It's just hard to forget. The days turned into weeks, and Teo's visit came to an end. He had to return to the USA, but he promised to visit more often. The twins were sad to see him go, but they understood. Teo's presence had brought a sense of normalcy and hope to their lives. Back in the USA, Teo threw himself into his work, but his thoughts often wandered back to Lagos. He missed his children and the time they spent together. He decided to make a more permanent change. He spoke to his company and arranged for a transfer back to Lagos. It was a difficult decision, but he knew it was the right one. When Teo informed Funmi and the twins, they were overjoyed. The idea of having their father back permanently filled them with happiness. Teo's return marked a new chapter for the family, one filled with promise and the potential for healing. Life in Lagos resumed with a new rhythm. Teo found a place nearby and continued to be a constant presence in Deli and Dara's lives. The twins excelled in school and participated in various activities, always supported by both their parents. Despite the progress, the underlying issues between Teo and Funmi remained. They had their good days, filled with laughter and camaraderie, but there were also days of tension and unresolved conflict. They attended counseling sessions, trying to work through their past and build a future where they could co-parent harmoniously. One day, Deli and Dara came home from school, excited about a family day event. They had been chosen to participate in a talent show and wanted both their parents to be there. "Daddy, Mommy, you both have to come," Dara exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. Taeyo and Funmi exchanged a glance and smiled. "Of course, we'll be there," Taeyo said, ruffling Dara's hair. The Family Day event was a turning point. Watching their children perform on stage, Taeyo and Funmi felt a renewed sense of purpose. They realized that despite their differences, their love for Deli and Dara was stronger than any past mistake. They needed to find a way to coexist peacefully for the sake of their children. They started spending more time together as a family, going on outings and enjoying meals together. They still had their counseling sessions, but they also had open and honest conversations at home. Slowly, the walls between them began to crumble. One evening, as the family sat around the dinner table, Deli spoke up. "Mom, Dad, I know things have been hard, but I'm really happy we're all together now." Dara nodded in agreement. "Me too. I love having both of you here." Taeyo and Funmi exchanged a look, their eyes filled with emotion. "We love you both very much," Taeyo said, "and we're doing our best to make things right." As time went on, the family found a new balance. Taeyo and Funmi learned to co-parent effectively, putting their children's needs first. They attended school events, celebrated birthdays, and supported Deli and Dara in their pursuits. The twins thrived, knowing they had the love and support of both their parents. They excelled in their studies, made new friends, and pursued their passions with confidence. Years passed, and Deli and Dara grew into young adults. They graduated from high school with honors and went on to attend university. Taeyo and Funmi continued to support them, proud of the individuals they had become. Despite the challenges, the family's bond remained strong. They had faced their past, learned from their mistakes, and emerged stronger. The journey had not been easy, but it had taught them the importance of love, forgiveness, and the strength of family. As Taeyo and Funmi watched Deli and Dara graduate from university, they felt a deep sense of pride and fulfillment. They had overcome their differences and created a new story of resilience and unity.